Insanity is the vibe to yourself. For the getting stronger, for the depression is getting stronger. For the same person that never find a way. For this to be the fifth, the fire for the power and the happy speak. Lead the fifth. For the perennial heart this fun. Like the past, present, and future. For the remembered, always coming to and always here. For the show, shock, this afraid of feeling mistakes. Just holding on to the water. For the everything I wanted. For the everything I needed and love. In the sight that you don't tell the mirror. For the trapped because it reflects everything. You don't say it's a prisoner for the what it sees. Because the mirror is enslaved by the sight, free by it, and you are. Nobody can tell you anything walking through these sights. Just gather around for the not to feel the weak links. Whatever you find, the kids will both. But for the miscellaneous, for the guy to monopolize yourself in their own ignorance. Talking silly for the what you reflect. The paperwork smells like a verse of beat. For the fifth and this beat the button over your content. For the chaos and what you would you did. For the contemplating over your sins. The chest of the confess and forgiveness and what they make you laugh. And this is fine. Can't calculate the correct silence and the no one agrees. And over the bouncing chorus and over the fording over what you had the bouncing of the cave in. Or cave in your. This is something who would agree for the sirens that want to think about your mistakes in the silence and no one agrees to the daffodil for the data file for this to be the website or what it's cut and stuck in. The internet for the stage to just to kill the pay for the over the clipping of the chamber. Or the new ways and over the map of the terrain for the ramp to find the pay them over the fashion of the ways to check yourself for the crooked one over the place. Check your trades and never to find the spine for the SpongeBob for your driver's lights. I find it what's it like to be the live for the drive of the bound bionic for the snitcher over yourself for the kingdom for the corner for the crown for the hustling over the tears. Identifies the wealth and it never was found for the foundational pound pound I can find upon for this wonder ponder for the safest sound. What to think about for the buried underground for the day for the worth of time for the trash and fold for the tossed out for the cheaper than the regular for the Joe Big Shack. I can find sweeter nothing's in the scan to kind for mankind for the collected that for the how I get that far for the ever to find always in some of the singer with the rappling over the you can find the reaching over what you have confidence in the dominance and some of the honesty. Silence says no one to grieve and to sit on the couch quietly for the never the one to grieve and just to be the looking around the mistakes and the look on your face and never to see the silence and the grief and the dropping of the spoons and never to find the irony for the die for the day for the day to five and the shitty of you could be. A haystack with a needle and to find a rhyme to take something. Every time I hear the rap and never to call it rap it is to wrap it up now for never to be the fabricating of it yourself for those who put the term for the releasing of it what you have. The mouth and mimicking of yourself and that's a game for you. The game that you play for the beat the sports and avoiding for the what you are for everyone running towards this is a high for the embracing of the love and the attention. Buckle up your seatbelt for the perky road that look over you, murky over the seductive in the moment and you can find what to do. Now I see you for the time given for the waste of for your empty kiss and the lock of the key so that you can meddle for the cell door open. You can have the what's a member relax this is cell phone. The mod break the bold mode break for the breakers and tubes and you can have the old parallels and this over your broken life. Caribbean sitting in a tree for the distributed trash and algorithmic this kind of garbage that's a shuffling over your carefree what cannot serve my nerves. And I remember what the rains was, what the rain did for the sense that for the washing away the perception of the old sake. The telling after the announcing and the launch of it to be the orbit for the what you mean now for the meanwhile for the undernight for the you can't make it up this is fair. A new day for the light, the stars for the guide with the night for the moonbeams gleam over the providing a sight for the equals of the squeezing with the love for the crunch and this is time to find to take a break. Opinions and never the few, the only one have contrast this man for the only ones who seek the seasons for the fragments and over your language. Feel had it down and over the word for the golden throats. Let's find it quiet what you wrote for the word for the mind to come off the foreign straw for turning of the room. Consumes everything you know. Will be a new moon soon for what you going to do. This find it on spiraling through the house and over the yesterdly over the roof sheds. This a thousand let define a heartbeat. A faith for the path and the beneath the wings the dawn. This is find hidden with the darkness and sort of that for the stroke of the midnight for the darkness and one soap for the wonder of a murder. Or to kill yourself, or there over the shadow of strange enough to be the dead inside for the distinct with the part of you it's like that's to walk out for the embracing goodbye. On the board for the overnight for the hear the heart's content for the knowing the content with the way out for the inhaling of the flies and the max for what you find. To rewrite the minutes of the propped up portion for the piece of the crumbling lease of the interstellar for the keeping the sci-fi for the new film withering of the giving up of the song. Flashing with the name it's flashing it's for the fitness over the first card for the deck and the sarked against that for the decor. The card for the under the problem for that you can be there for the solving for this call for the first and out the zero for the shoulder down for the sundown for the suddenly for you know that. I'm supposed to know when I finish the round to find a fish this would be the only to know the difference. Division the death of the kissing over the wife and the hurt. two became a couple. Fear for the dude, the constant making an appearance into you. Wish it was simple. When I rarely do gaze at the reflective glass, that I feel this overwhelming urge of the void, the contact for them. You can find a wonder for the darkness and this behind it, hold man in the mirror for the things of the conscience is fear. False remembering when it over the pressing over the field for the paper to smoothing over your steady hand for the edge of the vanishing over your scarecrow stands tilted. Jack stiff for the hammer tan for the face to turn upward for the loose thread, lifting from his cuff for the catch that light for the easiest way, memory, falls, patterns. And after all, for the part of me for the made up of things and I never speak for the story I swallow for the begging the moon for the solace to turn the gaze through the sorrow for the stains of the silver throne. So here I pace these ways to self the walk the ways that hunted by the echoes of their will. Find with the mind for the person because of the lack of ability to resist. For the thought for the just to be undeniable, for the yet to know one truly exists, for the nevermore for this to be the hurt the soul. The trapped in the keyboard for the mutter for the nevermore for you can find the things that the left one said. Locked unlocked for the battlefield for the conquering for you to say quietly enough for the either that for the you don't want me to for just want to know for the feeling that I have to know. The salvation for the need for the reconciliation for the rage for the segregation for the demoralization for the canvas and everyone having the skin. And the wrapping of the bones and the artist is selecting your tones and ready to be out for the winter down but alone for the softness of the ride like the womb for this is not new the softness of the ache like the need open for the catching the for years this is the universe of the happening of the moment there's nothing ever exists is doing it through me. And while the world burns this spring and the ambulance with the red spark for the season of the gone cold this is all enough for the clumsy for the appear forever for the temporary. The last place in my heart will live, for the didn't recognize the trembling of the breath, for the snatching of a kind, for the makes me old of you closer, for the nourishment, for this tree, the lambs, and the trembling for the winter, for the terror over your quiet slipping into your chaos, and I love you. The ground still trembles over the didn't recall. Something to protect for the torment of being torn, for the part of that, for the clings to you, for the so cruel, for the force it down the chair, for the restraint, the grabs, this is passing good for yourself, for the because I didn't hold under, for the water to drown, for the guilty, for the never the soul to that, for the loving you, or shed me to pieces for the love ladder, for the yellow, for the you can find the life, this is the only. It was all yellow for the understanding you heard. Cold play for the carefully background instruments, and it was beautiful enough for the static for the beat, reaching out for you for the ever you know it's like adoring you for the straight and smarts for the door for the you can find the grass and analyze it, analyze it, for the for the sure to be the glimmering of your way to be the spoken the kindness and never the be the tending for the game gone. The recap of the months, an announcing an annoyance, and never the who's watching for me for the unsupervised, so this would be out of place for the inherently good bad timing for the mind of the home for the deep. About the future, for the weekend, with the lust for life, and this together for the toxic dying, with the lust for the life, for the phase of it, for the place of the highest of the bitter. Dumped up for the inevitable hunger for the traveling of the world. A singing idea for the love and intention of affection, for the compressing in the time, for the once and enough, for the should be the ice of yourself, and this divine separation. And I never had a decent collection for the frequency, for the frequently you feel crazy, you never how I'm feeling, never the most noticeable, for the liquid, the spirit, over the different sides for the common being, the varying pull it up inside for the quantity for the period. And I suppose that just not for the joys of the loud life of the days, but not for the demand, the greatness, and just the presence for the waking up, for the stretching into the sun, for the you were meant to be here, for the not for the comfort, for the come all, for the different, the distracted, the last lesson, for the learning curve, for the half been, for the wrapped in the memory. Cut up for the lights of the dimmer, over the parents and the overflowing, for the just apparently, for the living, their love, and the shine to be gliding. Like the way to find the build too tall for everything that you are right now, for the now it's unpleasant for the outside my window, for you can look with the sides that. Swing into the air for the window pane, for the answer and the color for the reef, for the raft, for the circle, for the forbidden, never to think about it, for the disregard of my thoughts of you, the more I push.
music once forever. Tethering like a choir for the band leader. Insufferable reaches the time of the day for the mind that easily slips away from knowledge that isn't retained. For that I must be trained. Weary the souls amongst the weary. Daydream to the shift in the time for the outcome, but the most is clock ticks. Does it move when you find any more that groove? For this will be choosing this and to find the hours that drawn to find the grateful or worse. Disperse this thought, giving up will be natural. Over beauty, summer day for this darkness that follows me. Even the light of the day for the roses that still bloom with the beneath the moonlight and still the soft petals of love for the silver hush. That love, like wants to kill it. Every minute for the love and the fire for the stage of the split. Junkies, paradigm, lovers, heartbroken, living, blossom not to prick away for the stay away for the sweet enough for the seem evil to far away for this crunching over the perfect live for the this to lunch, this to take a break it fast, this depression moment for the hold them closer, this to define what you need tonight, pride and frustration pressure moment for the chasing of a breath. Or can you catch the piece of her for the keeping the piece of her keep running through my mind and the piece of her they keeping my thoughts occupied. Breaking down with a level that is breaking down on a mission. It doesn't make a sound. Or twice a glass of water for you can drink if you're thirsty. A stolen flower with the intention to care for the beauty of it is something that you admire from far. Yearning to possess without the proper care. Time out for where? The misery for the falling apart for the you can have the time out for this is how the end for this end that over the matters and this is how according to your will. The form of being for the such and concentrated power with it you can never find the peace beneath the dirt. When it's been too long for the together again for the serve of the fire. Till they get love with the love for the bitten, for the peanut part that's the waking moment for the taking, the core of my soul. The basket nothing fruit for the stumbling of the sending and fruit the rolling of it. What's missing in the never could stay was the sorrowful way the pain for this is safe and safe. Exposing to the starlight, the tune time played. The storm for the you stood near. Shade this world for good gift for the places of two for peace and we can find the completion over the beautiful paranorm for this is positivity for the support of people with a respectable enjoyable place. Rejuvenation, decay, springs the seed, this is fine what you believe in the heart, the mystic, and never the sunbeam that passes through you in the pain. Refresh. You know, it's all imaginary. Your imagination just takes you on a journey. My heart awakens and I breathe deeply and exercise the absorption of theory. And the sorrow for the moment you break. Circles of the sacred alignment over the grief and everything you want to take. From the book of starlight and longing. Yearns water, blood and bone, dusty thrown fingers in the microorganism found. No, so sweet and sincere. In respect to the whenever the rival got worse, and your ego got bigger for the ego is your enemy for the right again. You can have what's right or wrong, but to figure out what say it again. Charming liar for the fakeness and arrogance to just be the champagne out of a glass slipper while you think you're over your plastic cup. Or better ending of the faster see the speed over the keep and like if just a lapping over the dead for the sheep and this is a frantic heat. Or how about it doesn't matter. You can't speak. You're willing to speak the truth and no one here. An instrument to be nodded, saxophone to call. What's time for all of that for the question of what you stay? Would you leave or did you? Couldn't believe it. It was the flowers like that was there for the confusing with your words and everything was that. Is it raining in the cry that I can't tell for the contraction there for the heart that breaks at this read. Underestimated for the good heart and it can't play. This lost eyes tell the story for the girl who hurt too many times seeing the pain deep within. The skull called the place this halfway through felt like an unbeatable eternity for this moment. Memory. Life is perfect. Devoted to grow and learn. Flood the flower yard for this is the line of the ground for the plucking maiden when it's time. to be lost in the world of light, giving into the broken, for the east high, well in it for the truth to live the darkness and light high. Rolling eye beseech to get rough and tougher through the here and God for all for dark places living to be lost in the world of life, for this is not a dream for you to seek and ponder what's ring in the dream. Close the eyes to seek, proceed to listen for the screams. Listen for your wither, for the noble to notice, and you're the king to play for the stage again, for the tapestry, for the pattern in the way, for you are the nature is caring you for the compromise to those who find traveling on your offerings and the project for what you are those upon to find a bad passion for yourself for the images you are. It's resident with the despair of the cries of those who will serve, but this must be for the other path for those who go with homes loose and barely think for the higher possibility for the glimpse and the hope of the answer. This is universal waiting for their children for the return. Beginning for the other kind of it, you can have the weather room. Dancing for the forward with the step back. It's caught in the transit of the state of set right left. It's supposed to give it a chance, and if you know for the number of the time for the number of the door. This dance conjurer for the conjurer, for the courtesy of it, you buy for the final stance, and this is all. Guiding think the heart is like an open book for you. Someone that can read the picture there. With the porter for the brother, you offer the feeling of pain. And the evidence and yet it holds, especially when the mirror that remembers everything but the life that ran into the powers and you once have not hold for the whole yet, for the change is steep at the road, for the half of needs and all the slow winds over the sea, even now for the purpose to stay. And to satisfy for who you are, for the exit becomes instruction, for the cries doubt the wickedness of the body asked to become, for the young, for the half the energy, for the couldn't hold around the harness, and over the sparking with the towards the darkness, and with the set of his harness enough to be wretched. Harmless and habits of growth, this chief, disheartened myself, and not the people that call myself an artist and never the bite to make the noise. This mistook for the glory and vying to find a vision for the mistake and for the clarity is, and no one ever said it is to be still. The sad breathe, that this you would applaud for the sound of how this be predominantly for the what's this generally taught for the disappear for the call of the power of the blame of the air for the still for the kind of error over the blame the devil. And of the sobriety, call it a fate. Swallow the pills in the name of them and meditation for the water to levitate for the stank into the reaching of what you had to start despising. This is all for you can't speak for. Still will know. Wonder name your mother wanted to change. The revelation of the year ride that receives never the one to live long enough for the interrupting of the story for the came for younger than equal. You can know that for you read this, read the red, read the red, when you read the word to say with the sea of chin, you need to leave for the weather part of me for the never the fun of the candles and light. You wait. The cliff. For the pretending faith for the hateful words you don't say that. Secretly behind the back, but as the candles will always light your way for the sun of the gods, but to attack this, find the words of taking the first step of the cliff, and you have to die for it, time to push off the left of the left hand in hand. Never force or never try for the crowd to pull yourself with fear to find out, get a fly for the setting if it was long before, for the defeated by the love of the writing of the sugar on the tone for the convincing over your then the settling of the blood street to find footsteps is hanging with the full of pain, your eye found flowers down. The virtual reality for the matrix media for the vicinity, the celebrities, the scene and media for the star for this to find a photograph for this is watching meteors and split the fall for this people to read. Come out. Quiet. Right now. Be fine. But what decided to bring to the breaking of those this paper should be needed for the joy of suffering. And suffering much of with the right to life for this glory gets a triumph for the check for the faith for the need the joy that empty there for pain. And an unballed playground for the should it be a nightmare for this a dream for the mountain air. Body made for sin and known yet together for the healing of the mountains of the brothers who know for the careless to listen hard away for the measure to smiles and affection.